of the Stanley Cup first round in Columbus, Ohio.
Nationwide Arena. The Bluejackets and the Oilers.
The Bluejackets and the Oilers.
Making only his second home start the last 6 home games.
To tie the series
Here was a
at 2
victory
games apiece.
back in February. 6 home games. His last start here was a
7-3
victory
Oilers win
in February over the San Jose Sharks at the opposite end.
Second win in a row.
Outstanding in his team's first victory here over the Blue Jackets. Back on the 10th of February, he stopped 39 of 40 shots. Our officials this evening, the referees, Mark Jeanette, Gord Dwyer. The linesmen tonight, John Grant and Steve Miller. Oilers wearing their road whites. They continue a lengthy road trip. They're on to Detroit tomorrow. Jackets wearing their home blues. We're all but set for the opening face-off. It will be Gagne and Johansson. Tonight's telecast presented in high definition by Time Warner Cable, and we are underway.
Of the 2013
into the zone.
Stanley Cup playoffs.
Left there for Gagne. Along the wall, winning the battle there was Johansson, knocking down Gagne. The Oilers sweep it out of the zone. Feder-Tutin, who begins tonight's game, paired with Golubov. It's moved up the left wing. It gets by Gagne. And Petrie will pick it up for Edmonton. Petrie looks at Pay-Arvey, who scored what proved to be the game-winning goal in the first meeting here. Back in February, it was a shorthanded goal. Oilers added an empty netter, outshooting the Blue Jackets. Rather, the Blue Jackets outshooting the Oilers 40-14. Dubnyk simply outstanding. And 45 seconds in, we'll get a look at tonight's Toyota Keys, presented by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers.
Well, tonight the Jackets have to have a little offensive finish. They got to find ways to score. Dubnyk, again, he needs a little traffic and a human wall in front of him. Layer the D. Repeat the checking success that they had the other night. And the Oilers' speed, that has to be contained. And then forecheck. That means putting the puck behind, get the legs moving.
Done it by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers.
Well, tonight the Jackets have to have a little offensive finish. They got to find ways to score. Dubnyk, again, he needs a little traffic and a human wall in front of him. Layer the D. Repeat the checking success that they had the other night. And the Oilers' speed, that has to be contained. And then forecheck. That means putting the puck behind, get the legs moving. They've done a nice job of that in all 3 zones. And able to go after that puck and make something happen.
Now there's Artem Anisimov, the hero, riding a 2-game goal-scoring streak with that overtime game winner.
Moving. They've done a nice job of that.
Now there's Artem Anisimov, the hero, riding a 2-game goal-scoring streak with that overtime game winner. Anisimov injured in the game, took a shot off the time game winner. Anisimov injured in the game, took a shot off the back of the knee. It was thought by Coach Todd Richards that he was through for the night, but he came back and was the hero in overtime. Bouncing puck along the wall, and there is Anisimov battling. Officials say, move your feet, move the puck. Jack Johnson out for his first shift. His return after missing 4 games. A welcome return, a welcome addition. Jackets failed to...
Able to go after that puck and make something happen.
No item.
Now there's Artem Anisimov, the hero, riding a 2-game goal-scoring streak with an overtime game winner.
Find them at Sports Network.
Well, I've been criticized because I don't tweet as much as Rick. How do you do that? He's always on.
Burroughs off the face-off. Behind the net, Daniel Sedin. Center.
No item.
Move your feet, move the puck. Jack Johnson out for his first shift. Here's
No item.
deals it off into the corner. There is Matt Calvert. Calvert along the wall, trying to protect that puck. Justin Schultz, Nick Schultz, and it's gone to the right wing. Here comes Hemsky. Hemsky's pass in front, and Hall is denied.
So Taylor Hall coming in and basically coming back from some injuries that they didn't think he was going to be in the lineup this morning. They talked. Everly looked like he was going to be. That this was one player that surprised everybody, but after the morning skate, he considered himself healthy. Ralph Kruger puts him into the lineup, and a pretty good scoring opportunity off the rush.
Belanger set for the drop, and he loses it to Leches, who has been off.
opportunity off the rush.
Belanger set for the draw, and he loses it to Leicester. Has
Morning skate looked like he was injuries. No Taylor Hall.
and Hall is denied.
No Taylor Hall coming in and basically coming back from some injuries that they didn't think he was going to be in the lineup this morning. They talked. Everly looked like he was going to be, but this was one player that surprised everybody. But after the morning skate, he considered himself healthy. Ralph Kruger puts him into the lineup. A pretty good scoring opportunity off the rush.
Belanger set for the draw, and he loses it to Leicester. Has been
Morning skate. He considered himself healthy. Ralph Kruger puts him into the lineup. A pretty good scoring opportunity off the rush. Belanger healthy. Ralph Kruger puts him into the lineup. A pretty good scoring opportunity off the rush.
Belanger set for the draw, and he loses it to Leicester. Has been
He considered himself healthy. Ralph Kruger puts him into the lineup. A pretty good scoring opportunity off the rush.
Belanger set for the draw, and he loses it to Leicester. Has been awfully stinging in the faceoff circle. Leicester Oilers head to Ryan Whitney, who dumps in, turns it over. Vinny Prosper onto a coin. Jackets backhanded. Prosper with goals in each of the last two games, not unlike Anisimov. Dorsett trying to trap it with his skate. Throws it up high. A point unable to play. Chipped off the wall. That's Jones hustling into the zone, but the Jackets are quick to clear it. Away goes Dorsett. He's got Prosper with him. Fires a shot that's deflected. No further play. Well, how about Ralph Kruger's comments, Bill, after the last meeting here on the 10th of February? His comment, flat out, we need to get on the plane here in a hurry because we've stole one tonight.
No item in.
Jackets
No item in.
shooting the Oilers 40-14. Dubnyk simply outstanding.
Boy, things weren't any better when they were a bit more
No item in.
Ralph Kruger not happy with his hockey team. Says we have to play with a little bit more urgency. We got to find a little bit more inside that tank. You're a little hungry, especially when you have the puck. Make something happen with it.
Oilers have dropped two in a row. That's deflected. No further play. Well, how about Ralph Kruger's comments?
We talked about the guys from the Oilers who played in the minors, and Jordan Everly, you talked about him. They were all at 34 points in 26 games. And we look at this, and I really think that most American League teams have one or two guys who could play in the NHL. And when you get this many, you wonder why those guys were all in the top 10 in scoring in the American League, because they're playing together. And every time they're on the ice, they're NHL players, and that's the thing. Is there's that line between the NHL and the AHL, and you've got that many on the one.
Looking for Jared Bull. Bull with a backhand pass. First shift for Mike Brown. We've got Ryan Smith, who last played center the first time in between these two teams.
5 minutes, 16 seconds. 5 minutes.
The turnover and the stop off the blocker of Mason. Fourth line matched up against fourth line here. And it's McKenzie out of the zone. Ryan Smith finishes the check as it's dumped in. Petrie against Broussard. Loose puck picked up by Ladislav Smid. Smid hands to Ben Eager at center. Eager with a long shot. Mason, the pad save. Here's Dalton Prout. Dealing to Johansson. Johansson setting a season high. 19 minutes and 7 seconds on Sunday against Colorado. He also won 12 of 18 faceoffs and much improved in that department. But again, Coach Richards said this morning they're looking for consistency in Johansson's game. Left wing, there's Dubnyk down, and he'll cover up. Johansson's game. Left wing, there's Dubnyk down.
Well, and Ladislav Smid, who is known, he's going to give you a shot every now and then.
No item in.
This is a physical pair for the Edmonton Oilers. Pushing and shoving. You see, as Steve comes back and gives Dale Weiss the straight forearm. Keith Ballard off the drop.
Backstage access, including a ride.
No item in. Replay button.
Pushing and shoving. You see, it's
Faceoff comes to the right of Dubnyk.
Swunch.
And from the drop, Taylor Hall.
No item in view positive.
Matt Calvert cycles out of the corner. Here's an attempted shot there by Atkinson, turned aside. Jackets had it knocked away. Here comes Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins sees a great defensive play there from Dalton Prout, who continues to impress since his recall. How about that defensive play?
Well, he's paired up tonight with Jack Johnson, and the one thing that the Jackets already, we haven't played 5 minutes, a couple of turnovers, one inside the line. Look at the speed of Nugent Hopkins, and look at the second effort by Dalton Prout. You hate to get yourself into that situation, but it is what it was. And a nice look at the speed of Nugent Hopkins, and look at the second effort by Dalton Prout. You hate to get yourself into that situation, but it is what it was. And a nice play by 47.
Nugent Hopkins sees a great defensive play there from Dalton Prout, who continues to impress since his recall.
Well, here's after the turnover, the Oilers right down the middle. Nugent Hopkins threw a screen and just misses. There's my theory again. Those shots that miss the net never do it.
They taught you that at Queens.
Yes, they did. Nugent Hopkins threw a screen and just missed. There's my theory again. Those shots that miss the net never do it.
It is full of turnovers. One thing that they taught you that at Queens.
Yes,
He's paired up tonight with
continues to impress since his recall. How about that defensive play?
Well, he's paired up tonight with Jack Johnson, and the one thing that the Jackets already, we haven't played 5 minutes, a couple of turnovers, one inside the line. Look at the speed of Nugent Hopkins, and look at the second effort by Dalton Prout. You hate to get yourself into that situation, but it is what it was. And a nice play by speed of Nugent Hopkins, and look at the second effort by Dalton Prout. You hate to get yourself into that situation, but it is what it was. Thing that the Jackets already, we haven't played 5 minutes, a couple of turnovers, one inside the line. Look at the speed of Nugent Hopkins, and look at the second effort by Dalton Prout. You hate to get yourself into that situation, but it is what it was. And a nice play by 47.
Petrie from the right point.
Well, that's one again.
Have now allowed the first 16 of their 23 games. The first period has not been kind to the Jackets, and they have given up the first goal and have had to fight from behind now in 16 of the 23 games, including tonight.
There's a look at Schultz coming over from Minnesota and finds a home here on the defensive core. He was named an alternate captain back in January, and good leadership on the defensive core with all the young men that they have. Right now, the Jackets have to find a little resolve, being down 1-0 here on home ice. And good leadership on the defensive core with all the young men that they have. Right now, the Jackets have to find a little resolve, being down 1-0 here on home ice.
Nick Schultz sends it towards the net. Off of Eriksson. Eberle hands it to Payarvi. Good hustle there by a Coin to deal it on the wing. Jackets controlling their own zone. Tim Eriksson retreats behind the net. Pressure coming from Payarvi on the forecheck. A Coin chips it off the boards, looking for Brassard at center. Moved ahead by Gagne. Jackets play it nonetheless. And it's McKenzie who dumps it deep. Schultz. Hammered there by McKenzie. The outlet pass. And it's Payarvi handing ahead there for Gagne. And Gagne wheels to the right wing. Payarvi in the slot. Comes back to the point. Potter, who's been given an opportunity to play tonight with Peckham coming up ill earlier on in the day. Potter just returning from a concussion. And back in the lineup. He was on IR earlier today. Cycling out? No, Jackets unable to do so. Here's Potter. Petrie being given credit for the goal, his third of the season. Neutral pass there for Hamburger, lost it. Played by Ryan Whitney. Whitney, long lead pass there for Taylor Hall. On the fly, it's gloved and held by Mason. 14:08 left.
Well, before the Jackets hit the ice, get ready to carry the flag on Blue Jackets Live on Fox Sports Ohio. Blue Jackets Live is brought to you by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. Well, this is where the Jackets have to respond. Shot from the point. And again, from the angle that we had a chance to see, it looked like it might have been deflected. Petrie does get credit for that goal. But that's 1-2 that you want to be in a position, even if it is a deflection, to be able to at least get a piece of it.
And there is Petrie, the son of former Major League pitcher with the Detroit Tigers. hockey's his game. And he has become a fixture on that Oiler blue line.
Pretty good athlete. It's Petrie, three-year Letterman, and All-American at Michigan State.
Taylor Hall deals back to Petrie, on to Smead. Smead attempting a shot that is blocked by the Jackets' Atkinson. Hemsky lets it go now, retrieves the puck along the wall, thrown back here to Petrie, unable to keep it in. Jackets pressure, and here's Smead. Smead bounces one into the corner. Trout hands it to Jack Johnson. Matt Calvert for Trout. Head up. Trout to center. Drills it in on the hard around and unable to play it for the Oilers, and it gets by Jack Johnson and sails deep into Jackets territory. 6.5 minutes plus gone here in the opening period. If you joined us late, Petrie from Belanger and Jones at 4:23. Shot from the point, eluding Mason. And the Oilers have the 1-0 lead. Yakopov loves Mason. And the Oilers have the 1-0 lead.
Scoreless.
Yakopov loves it, sends it to the ice. Jones stripped of the puck, and away goes Vinny Prospel. Prospel 3 points from 750 in his NHL career. Jones all over Leicester, who makes the play to Dorsett behind the net. Derek Dorsett chased by Justin Schultz. Schultz edges it ahead, and it's Yakopov, right wing at center. Looks for Belanger. Jackets break that up. Across the line, Vinny Prospel. He's got Dorsett with him. Fires a shot that is blocked by Smead. The two go to the wall. Prospel not giving up on it. Smead has it. Smead now steps away. Dorsett pressures. A backhand pass to Jones. Sent back into the zone. Offside the call. We got a break in the action. The Oilers take the lead on the Petrie call. We got a break in the action. The Oilers take the lead on the Petrie. 1-0 Edmonton. 12:32 left. Here in the first.
Mason, Sam Gagner, a few things in common. Both of them played for the London Knights. In fact, they 1 year together had a chance to play. But what you go back to Oakville. Is it a hockey hotbed? Well, think of this. Mason, Gagner, Cody Golubov, another one. John Tavares. Around that neighborhood, they played a lot of hockey growing up. Not only in the summer, ball hockey, you name it. But guys that know each other pretty well are on the ice tonight.
Oakville, I remember growing up, it was a long distance from the city of Toronto, and now it's a suburb of Toronto. Golden Horseshoe, Southern Ontario. Quite a few hockey players have come out of that region. Eager up on the left wing. It's chopped away from his stick. Off on the far side. Stepping up. And dumped to the corner. Of course, Sam Gagner, the son of former NHLer Dave Gagner, his bull sent it in. Distance from the city of Toronto, and now it's a suburb of Toronto. Golden Horseshoe, Southern Ontario. Quite a few hockey players have come out of that region. Eager up on the left wing. It's chopped away from his stick. Off on the far side. Stepping. Quite a few hockey players have come out of that region. Eager up on the left wing. It's chopped away from his stick. Off on the far side. Stepping up the wing. It's chopped.
Very few.
Dumberger fails to very alertly. And again. Bull illustrating. Shoot the puck. Send it to the net. Good things happen. The Jackets have tied it up. McKenzie very alertly kept his stick on the ice and was able to send it behind Dubnyk. A 1-1 tie here. Shots favoring the Oilers and was able to send it behind Dubnyk. A 1-1 tie here. Shots favoring the Oilers 5-3. Jackets Umberger fails to clear. A turnover in the slot. A shot by
very few turnovers. McKenzie's had a chance to.
And Erickson looking more and more at home on the Columbus blue line. Here's Anisimov with a right wing feed for Atkinson. Swept off his stick. Atkinson will try again. Looks to the left wing for Anisimov. Nugent Hopkins with the steal. Out of the right wing. Hemsky fans on the attempted pass. Atkinson tries to dance away from him. Hemsky gets it right back. Alex Hemsky drops it back for Taylor Hall out of the zone. It's ripped back in by Whitney. Oilers will change up. Play continues, and we're closing in on the midway point of period number 1.
Right now, the Edmonton Oilers 6 shots on goal. 14 total the last time in this building. Not want to allow this team to freewheel.
Whitney deals it on that left wing for Jones. Mason directing traffic. We'll leave it there for Erickson. Away from Yakopov. Played in the corner by Jones. Tried to refeed Yakopov. Off the point there is Potter. Steers it to the corner. Cycling out here is Yakopov. The point for Potter. The right-handed defenseman floats one in. Wide of the net will be played here by Dorsett off the backboard. His clearing pass. Attempting to knock it down was Lechestu. Jones will carry back in. Dumps it wide of the net. And it's Eriksson once more. Eriksson. Long lead pass. Fails to click. Smeed will find Belanger, who will drop it back for Petrie. Petrie circling away. On to Smeed. Smeed looking rink wide. Chipped into the zone. Oilers have their fourth line out there now. Brown cruising, jersey number 13, making his debut after being acquired yesterday from the Toronto Maple Leafs for a conditional fourth-round pick. If the Oilers make the playoffs, it goes to a third-round pick. Brassard, Golubov drills it. That's deflected by Bolin wide. Petrie high off the glass. Outlet pass here for Brown. Brassard defending. Brassard. Bull coming together there with Brown. Brown will head off. Bull now on the off wing. Hands it back to Toot. Golubov. Long shot stick by Dubnyk and then quickly dished off. Oilers look for Eberle on the left wing. Jackets break it up. Tootin in the corner. Eberle hands to Bayarvi. Bayarvi to the point. Shot floated in there by Justin Schultz. Jackets block that. Foligno onto R.J. Umberger. Threw it across the line. Umberger looks for Foligno. Pad save made by Dubnyk. And the puck sails all the way back to Jackets territory. Foot race here, and it's won easily by Prout. He'll deal to Tootin. 8.5 minutes left. Prout. On to Tootin. Away from Taylor Hall. And it's R.J. Umberger who got a stick on it as it sailed up out of the Edmonton bench. 8:22 left. Jackets, Derek McKenzie ties it up with a redirect of the Bull pass from the board.
An order in goals tonight. Jeff Petrie started it off for the Edmonton Oilers. Derek McKenzie, he follows suit. But again, Petrie gets that puck from the point. And again, just shooting it. Nice little wrist shot. Looks like it changes direction to beat Mason. 55 feet. Makes it a 1-0 game. And then Eriksson, a beautiful pass to Bull. And what does Bull do? Right to the front of the net. McKenzie finds a stick on the ice. And they tie it at 1.
Prout sends it ahead to Anisimov. Hull tried to get a stick on it. Potter unable to get to that puck. Jackets Anisimov. Comes in front of the net, tripped up. Power play upcoming for the Jackets here. 2 power play goals on Sunday afternoon. Anisimov keeps the feet moving. Hull down. And it is Whitney going off for tripping.
Edmonton number 6, Potter penalty for tripping.
Well, Mark Jeanette makes that call, and let's take a look at big number 42, utilizing his size, protecting the puck on that backhand, trying to get himself into position to be able to lean on it. Whitney takes the penalty, and the Jackets, the first power play of the night for either team.
As I mentioned, 2 power play goals in their 2-1 victory over Colorado. They're tied for 27th in power play efficiency at 13.6%. Up by Jack Johnson, who backhands for Fedor Tootin. R.J. Umberger sets the screen in front. Oilers are 6th best on the kill at 85.9%. Here's Tootin on to Jack Johnson. Jones gets a stick on it and backhands it to length of the ice.
Well, you talked about their percentages. The other thing that they do very well, Jeff, they will pressure. They have 3 shorthanded goals, and we can remember one, the game winner in this building.
Bayarvi late in period number 3. They added the empty net goal for the 3-1 win despite the Jackets' dominance. Save for the goaltending, Kevin Dubnyk. The Jackets remember it well and are looking to avenge that defeat. 7:20 left. Opening period, 117 in the penalty to Whitney.
Well, they get a chance to send out that second unit. Jack Johnson, he and Tootin were paired together on that number 1 unit. Now you get an opportunity having Mark Lechestu to play on that right side. And Eriksson on the left.
Crossbow, who leads the Jackets in power play goals with 3. Of course, James Wisniewski similarly has 3, but he is out with a broken bone in his foot. And not expected to return until sometime in April. Erickson, Jackets unable to gain the zone. Backpedals to his own blue line. Less than a minute left on the power play. Head up from Erickson. Dances away. Deals to Prospel on the wing. To Ryan Johansson. Johansson from the far wall. Feathers a pass. Prospel dealing to Erickson. Jackets showing patience here. Moving that puck around on the perimeter. They've got to get it to the net. Johansson asks for it. Gets it. Throws it across the goal mouth. And it sails to the half wall. Foligno now. On here for Lechestu. Again. Ryan Johansson camped in front. Prospel walks to the net. Johansson chopped it wide. Handed back to Lechestu. Less than 20 seconds left on the power play. Here's Erickson. On to Prospel. Again, Johansson wants it. Camped in front. Off the inside of the goal post. Down is Dubnyk. Scores! Vinny Prospel with a loose puck. Johansson chopped it. Again. Ryan Johansson camped in front. Prospel walks to the net. Johansson chopped it wide. And Johansson camped in front. Prospel walks to the net. Johansson chopped it wide. Handed back to Lechestu. Less than 20 seconds left on the power play. Here's Erickson. Handed back to Lechestu. Less than 20 seconds left on the power play. Here's Erickson. On to Prospel. Again, Lechestu. Less than 20 seconds left on the power play. Here's Erickson. On to Prospel. Again, Johansson wants it. Kemp
By the Blue Jackets. Stick again.
On the rebound. Prospel swings effectively. And the Jackets have their first lead of the evening. Rebound. Prospel sweeps it home. And the Jackets have their first lead of the evening. Here's Dorson. On to Brassard. Garrett Brassard circles the net. Kicked it. And we get some drops it for Payarvi. Meantime, we've got Petrie going with Matt Calvert. And Calvert showing that he can handle himself.
Well, Matt Calvert, he takes no guff from anybody. He stands tall. Petrie, a couple inches on him. But a nice job by the Jackets, being able to pull away 2-1.
Vinny Prospel, his team leading ninth.
A pretty good start for us. Early I thought we maybe sat back too much, but now we're starting to put pressure on with the forechecks. We just got to continue.
Appreciate your thoughts.
Thank you.
That's forecheck. This is the third key in this game tonight, being able to get the puck behind the defense and go after him. Since that time, they've drawn a penalty, scored on a power play, scored an even strength goal.
Well, we're just getting word here right now. It's not been announced in the building, but 5-minute majors to Calvert and Petrie. Now, the caveat here is that Calvert also picks up a game misconduct. You don't see this too often anymore. And Calvert's not the guy that's going to drop the gloves, but he has received a game misconduct for not having the jersey tied down. It's in the rule book. And the Jackets will play the balance of the evening without Matt Calvert as a result. Unfortunate. As Calvert just again showing that he's willing to do whatever it takes. Offside the call. Now watch the sweater here, the jersey of Matt Calvert.
You can see right away. As soon as that fight starts, that jersey is up and over. And for people that don't know at home, if you look at an NHL jersey, it does have a strap to be able to tie it down and attach it to the pants. And in this situation, you can see one pull, it's off.
That would be, without question, his first 5-minute fighting major. And not something that you would expect to see from Matt Calvert, but he's not going to necessarily take it. And sticking up for himself there in the zone. It cost the Jackets his services for the balance of the night. Less than 5 minutes left. Race for the puck here. McKenzie doesn't give up on it. Collides with Bull. Meantime, Ryan Smith looks for Hemsky. That pass was behind him. Sent into the zone. Eager. Unable to get a stick on it. Jackets move up ice. R.J. Umberger in the corner. Justin Schultz trying to defend. Thrown into that slot. Unable to get to it is Foligno. Out of the zone. Golubov backhands. Yakopov in pursuit. Oilers in Columbus territory before it's swept out. And it's Johansson with Umberger. Johansson. An arm around Johansson there from the Oiler. And
big in the throat area.
As Vinny start. And hands to Lechestu. Jackets. Get into Edmonton territory. Lechestu chips it off the wall, goes right back after it. Justin Schultz attempting to clear, but can't. Tim Erickson. Handing to Prospect. Back at the point, Eriksson. Shot blocked from the wing. Prospect denied. Foligno moving into that near circle. Losing the puck before Potter is able to bank it off the boards and send it right in on Mason.
Well, Foligno had one thing in mind. He was looking to snap that puck between the legs of the defender and just rolled off a stick.
Oilers led in shots early on in this hockey game, but the Jackets dramatically have taken over. 11-6 are the shots here. A little more than 3 minutes remaining. Power play down to a minute. Oilers awfully dangerous on the penalty kill. They've scored 3 shorthanded goals. One of them costly to the Jackets by KRB. First time in for Edmonton. There's Belanger. Drops it back. Long lead pass. Sails deep into the zone. Jones unable to get a stick on it. He'll head off to the bench before reinforcements come on. And it's Ryan Smith. And Sam Gagner. Jackets gain the zone. Down to 30 seconds of the power play. Cam Atkinson settles the puck down. Rims it around the wall. Up high. Tootin. One-timer by Jack Johnson. Pad save. Dubnyk will cover up with a big mitt. And the rebound.
Well, fans, see the Blue Jackets take on the Vancouver Canucks Thursday, March the 7th. 7 o'clock game with the Tim Hortons Jackets pack. That includes a ticket, Blue Jackets hat, food and more, starting at just $30 a person. That is a $28 savings. Get your tickets now at BlueJackets.com.
23 seconds remaining in the Yakopov holding penalty. Ryan Smith chased from the circle. Belanger will step in. Johansson wins the draw. Puck sent right in. And then chipped up and out by the Oilers.
Well, great play there by Johnson. Again, left-handed shot, right side. Pull it towards the middle of the ice. Quick shot. You hope it gets through.
Johansson pressures. Oilers sweep it out. 2 seconds. 1. And out comes Yakopov. Tootin away from Nugent Hopkins. Back to Tootin from Jack Johnson. McKenzie dishes to the right wing for Dorsett, overskating the puck. Hemsky unable to get anywhere, tied up there by Tootin. Jackets 3 more shots on that power play. They're 1 for 2 with 6 shots. Nick Schultz away from his opposite number, Dorsett. Justin Schultz will shovel the backhand. The Jackets play it up high. There's a shot by Aucoin. Pad save Dubnyk. Out to challenge the shooter. Kicks it up with that right back. Less than 90 seconds left. Oilers come quickly. In transition, this is Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins sweeps it far side. In front, a shot and a goal. The Oilers have tied it up as it goes 5 holes. In transition, this is Nugent Hopkins. Right back. Less than 90 seconds left. Oilers come
quickly. 2 minutes.
Position on, but he is club here in recent weeks. Not have been the doghouse of Coach Kruger, but he has come back in recent games and been one of the Oilers' better defensemen, and now connects for his 2nd goal of the season.
He moves in from that point position, and anytime you have the time like he does, the thing he was trying to do was just hit the net. It found the back of the net. He's given up that 5-hole. He's going to have to regroup. Body language has to continue to be better. Hopefully this team in front is going to be able to hopefully make up a little bit more offense as the game continues.
Nugent Hopkins and Hall draw the assist. We're in the final minute of play here. Jackets out shooting the Oilers by a 2-1 margin, 14-7, but the Oilers, again, fortunate. They've got a 2-2 tie here with the Jackets in the waning seconds of the opening period. Jackets jam the front of the net. Anisimov walking out. Played here by Jordan Eberle. Eberle dishes to Whitney. Ryan Whitney, one-time Penguin on for Smead, chipped off the glass out to center. Eberle in pursuit. Trout defending and is quick to chip it back into the Edmonton zone. Smead. Final seconds of this opening period. Sam Gagner waits for it at center, drills it in. Far side of the ice. Justin Schultz stepping up. Here's Brown, drops it back for Belanger. Belanger, a long shot, floated in. And it's deflected wide. Brown will sweep to the point. Nick Schultz now. That puck ricochets as the horn goes to end the opening period of play. And as I said, teams are tied 2-2. Jackets outshoot the Oilers 14-7. A lot And after 20 minutes of play, the teams are even. Natalie will join us next. She'll have a guest. And we'll be right back here to Nationwide. Stay with us. Back here at Nationwide, getting set for second period play. Jeff River, Bill Davich rejoining you here, and we are waiting momentarily for head coach Todd Richards to join us prior to the second period faceoff. You talk about Steve Mason and the need to give the Jackets better goaltending.
Yeah, I mean, that period, you have 7 shots on goal, and he allows 2, and let's not kid ourselves. He was not sharp in period number 1. Got to slow himself down, and talking with Ian Clark this morning, he says the volume of work has increased, and also the quality of work has increased. Yesterday, they have a day off. Who's the guy in the rink yesterday with the guys that are injured? Was Steve Mason. So he's working hard. Now he's got to be able to put it to use and be able to win a hockey game.
On the flip side, the Jackets' power play continues to impress. They are patient, they are under control, and they get another power play goal tonight.
And take a look at the number of new members of that power play. You know, Letestu, he's seen some point action out there with Tim Erickson. You got a guy like Jack Johnson now back in line. That's great.
Todd Richards joining us downstairs. And Todd, what are your impressions of the opening period of play?
Well, I think we started a little slow, and I think that's the way that the game is going. I think both teams are sort of feeling each other out. Our execution wasn't good coming out of our zone, even all the way into their zone. Scored a couple goals, but we have to be more clean coming out of our end.
Todd, what do you say to a guy like Steve Mason that struggled in period number 1?
I don't say anything. He knows it. I'm sure he does. And he'll be better this next period.
And what are you looking for here in the second period, Todd?
More energy, more desperation in our game. I think we have another level out there, and that's what I want to get to.
Thanks for this.
All right, guys.
Todd Richard joining us downstairs. There's Vinny Prospel, who has the power play goal for the Jackets tonight. All but set for second period play. Teams have changed ends. A 2-2 tie. If you've joined us late, Jackets getting goals, and even strength from McKenzie and Prospel. Petrie and Whitney have scored for Edmonton.
I like his response. Don't say a thing to the goaltender. You got 60 minutes to play. You have him fight his way back on his terms.
Ryan Johansson, Sam Gagner will take the second period faceoff. And you know Mason wants to improve his performance here in period 2. He doesn't need anybody to tell him anything.
No, and that's the thing. With goaltenders, you have to know their psyche, who they are, what they are. Leave them alone, let them do their job.
Here's Feder Tootin. Chips it off the wall into Edmonton territory. Gagner deals it cross ice. Speed for Petrie. Jeff Petrie off a stick. Foligno on the turnover, backhanding it off into the corner. Speed is there ahead of R.J. Umberger. Jackets pressure along the wall, but it's Gagner down the right wing. Sam Gagner looking for some open space. Oh, and the Oilers take the lead. Payarvi sweeps it home after he takes the Gagner pass, and the Oilers lead 3-2.
Well, a little bit too much respect for a team that has some speed and skill coming across that blue line. Take a look at where Gulabov is as well as Foligno's in a defensive position. That puck comes free. What a play by Gagner to be able to feed it across right here, right off the tip in the backhand. Every waste, no time at all, putting it over top of that glove.
And as you might expect, we're going to get a goaltending change here. Mason has not looked sharp on any of the 3 goals. And Sergei Bobrovsky, who was awfully sharp, although frequent starts on home ice. And here he'll pat Bobrovsky on the rear end and take a spot on the bench. Bobrovsky comes in here to start the second period. And right now I'd like to have talked to Todd and asked him if he gave any thought. He faced
in the backhand. Every
here, Mason
Foligno's in.
After he takes the Gagner. Speed entry for Petrie. Here's Feder. And you know Mason wants to improve his performance here in period 2. He doesn't need anybody to tell him anything.
No, and that's the thing. With goaltenders, you have to know their psyche, who they are, what they are. Leave them alone, let them do their job.
Here's Feder Tootin. Chips it off the wall into Edmonton territory. Gagner deals it cross ice. Speed for Petrie. Jeff Petrie off a stick. Foligno on the turnover, backhanding it off into the corner. Speed is there ahead of RJ. Umberger. Jackets pressure along the wall, but it's Gagne down the right wing. Sam Gagne looking for some open space. Oh, and the Oilers take there ahead of RJ Umberger. Jeff Petrie off a stick. Foligno on the turnover, backhanding it off into the corner. Speed is there ahead of RJ Umberger. Jackets pressure along the wall, but it's Gagne down the right wing. Sam Gagne looking for some open space. Oh, and down the right wing. Sam Gagne looking for some open space along the wall, but it's Gagne down the right wing. And take us well with open. One of it, Flea Sharp, although you might expect only a limited number of shots Sunday against Colorado, will come on in relief of Steve Mason. For Mason, we talked about this from the open. One of his infrequent
would have basically to be able to save the bacon and make that save. That was not the case.
ARV with his fourth, second against the Jackets this season. Gagne and Eberle draw the assists, and Mason is on the bench.
Well, you'd like to be able to hope the kid has some success. But right now, a 3-2 hockey game, put it behind. Tomorrow, he's got some work to do. In the meantime, we hope that Sergei Bobrovsky is going to be prepared and ready to go to come in and relieve.
Icing the is against the Jackets. The faceoff comes back into Columbus territory. To the right of Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky, as we mentioned, the winner Sunday over Colorado. He stopped 18 of 19 shots, 2 of them in overtime. Picking up the victory. And there, it is McKenzie chopping it to center.
New to go to come in and relieve.
No item, no
icing the call here against the Jackets.
No item.
And actually getting a little sloppy here. There's Belanger right down the middle through the defense. Shoots it off the side of the net. And then Jordan Eberle, who's been very good in this game, fights it, finds it in his skates, pulls it by Keith Ballard, but this time Roberto Luongo's right there to make the stop.
And there, it is McKenzie chopping it to center. Nugent Hopkins steals it across now on that rolling puck. Prout onto Anisimov. How about Anisimov in that opening period? Outstanding in the faceoff circle, far and away the best. The Jackets winning the majority of faceoffs, and Anisimov won 8 of 11 drives. Taylor Hall drops it there for Hemsky. Hemsky trying to get away from Atkinson. Spins, turns, deals it back up high. Whitney on for Potter. Potter redirected in front. Bobrovsky gets a chance to field the puck there with a pad save. Jackets move it out of the zone, and away goes Anisimov. Onto the right wing. There's a quick shot, and held by the goaltender Dubnyk.
Right now on FoxSportsOhio.com, read how Dalton Trout got from Springfield to Chicago in just a few hours. Read all about the first Buckeye practice of the spring, and don't forget to follow today's game on Game Connect. Get complete coverage of all of today's action involving Ohio sports. Brought to you by 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. Drive safe, spend less.
Erickson throws it behind the net for Dorsey. Penny Prospel trying to chip it free. 3-2 Edmonton, despite being outshot 14-9. Mason, for the record, gives up 3 goals on 8 shots. Whitney out of the zone. Letestu unable to play it. We got Dorsett and Potter. Potter's not going to be a willing combatant. He just returned from a concussion and literally came off IR today to play in the game with Peckham coming up with the flu this afternoon. Petrie away from a hit from Dorsett. Neutral zone play. Prospel able to chip it out of the zone with the backhand, and it's onto the stick of Dorsett. Dorsett now dancing across the line, sends it in. Dubnyk steers to the wall. Approaching the 2.5-minute mark of the second period. Jackets win a battle on the boards. Here's Tootin, drills it, and fought off and sent to the corner by Dubnyk. Jackets up high again. It's Tootin. Tootin takes a high hit there from Brown. Thrown behind the net. Wraparound attempt by Bull. Jared Bull with another outstanding play. Backhanded by McKenzie as he's drilled along the wall there by Ryan Smith. Outlet pass. Fourth line against fourth line. Now both teams change up on the fly. Carried in by Johansson. That one blocked by Smead. Van Eater avoiding a hit from Jared Bull. Brown again with a hard hit there on Tootin, and Tootin came up lame there on that right leg. Keep an eye on Tootin as he makes his way to the bench in some difficulty. Dubnyk, there's a quick shot and held by the goaltender Dubnyk.
Right now on FoxSportsOhio.com, read how Dalton Trout got from Springfield to Chicago in just a few hours. Read all about the first Buckeye practice of the spring, and don't forget to follow today's game on Game Connect. Get complete coverage of all of today's action involving Ohio sports. Brought to you by 1-800-SAVE-OHIO. Drive safe, spend less. Springfield to Chicago in just a few hours. Read all about the first Buckeye practice of the spring, and don't forget to follow today's game on Game Connect. Tom, read how Dalton Trout got
41 minutes, 17 seconds of 1 hour.
Dubnyk unable to play.
41 minutes, 8 seconds. 41 minutes, 9 seconds of 1 hour, 46 minutes.
Go-ahead goal by KRV here in the early moments of period number 3, or 2. Excuse me. It's a 3-2 hockey game as it's dumped in. Excuse me. It's a 3-2 hockey game as it's dumped in. Moved by Trout off the wall. Here's Ryan Whitney, deflected just wide of the net. Jordan Eberle on that side, unable to make the play. Umberger sweeps it out of the zone, takes a return feed here from Foligno. Three Jackets across the line. Johansson, rebound set wide by Foligno. What's he got to do to buy a goal?
I'll tell you what, that is textbook. You come across on a 3-on-2. They utilize the ace center drive to the net, and then it's tick-tack, and just trying to finish off the toe was not there.
Foligno has a 3-game assist streak going with 4 assists. But he is looking to get back on the score sheet with yet another goal. Hard work. We'd like to see him paid off as Hemsky fires it right in on Bobrovsky. Right wing Anisimov, center. Taylor Hall knocking it down, but the Jackets play it. Crossbow looking there on the wing for Atkinson. Anisimov waits up high. Schultz deals ahead. Hemsky waits for it on the right wing. Alex Hemsky across the line. Drops a pass there. Puck picked up. That's Nugent Hopkins looking to walk to the net. Taylor Hall stripped of the puck by Prosper. Nugent Hopkins, the 19-year-old. Hands it right back to Vinny Prosper. Potter stepping up. Taylor Hall out of the pack. Here's Nugent Hopkins, and that's deflected off the netting. No further play. 15-11 left.
Let's go back to that rush by the Columbus Blue Jackets through the neutral zone. And we talk about a 3-on-2. You have the center drive. Good play by Johansson. Nice pass by Umberger to set it up. But watch down in front of the net. It goes off of the goaltender. And then Foligno tries to knock it out in the air. The bouncing puck unable to be corralled. I agree with you, Jeff. Boy, if he gets one, he's going to get a lot.
2 goals. On the season, and that's not from a lack of effort because Foligno's got the nose for the net. He's always in front, creating havoc, but missing by inches, and there's just another example. He's got a point streak going, but he'd like to find the back of the net himself. On the wing, Belanger, there is Bobrovsky. The stop and no further play.
Well, join the battle and be at Nationwide Arena on Thursday, March the 7th, when the Jackets take on the Vancouver Canucks, 7 o'clock game. Then again on Saturday, March the 9th, they're going to host the Detroit Red Wings, a 2 o'clock affair. Get your tickets now at Bluejackets.com.
On the wing, Belanger, there is Bobrovsky.
See how Landino.
No further play.
Well, join the battle and be at Nationwide Arena on Thursday,
Encourage the group. The Dean line were out there for the last minute, and I would assume they would start this overtime.
Canucks got the first 2, the Oilers got the next 2, and here's how they all looked.
Arena on Thursday.
Here's Alex Edler.
No further play.
Well, join the battle and be at Nationwide Arena on Thursday, March the 7th, when the Jackets take on the Vancouver Canucks, 7 o'clock game. Then again on Saturday, March the 9th, they're going to host the Detroit Red Wings, a 2 o'clock affair. Get your tickets now at Bluejackets.com.
Letestu. There by Yakopov to chop it away as Dorsett looks short side.
Well, this is what you want from number 15. He's had a great second period so far. He's been in on the check. He's trying to create some offense. Another good opportunity there.
Smeed bumped along the wall there by Foligno. Puck picked up by Eriksson. We passed the 5-minute mark of the second period. Eriksson handing to Brassard. Eric Brassard missing 2 games with an upper body injury. Quiet so far tonight. Looking for a little more offense from Brassard. Backhanded. Here's Tootin off the point, and he roofs it over top of the net. Chipped out of the zone. Played here by Foligno. Bull trying to knock it down. Brassard does. His pass for Bull fails. Foligno back in his own end. Mike Foligno up the left wing. Failed to clear the zone. Ryan Smith. Nick Schultz, and he rifles it high over top of the net. Justin Schultz, no relation. What an impressive rookie season he is having with Edmonton. Jared Bull on that right wing. Across the line, avoids a hit from Ryan Smith, sweeps it behind the net, then heads off to the bench. Whitney, momentarily camped behind Dubnyk at the Edmonton net. Gagne dishes. Oilers, Whitney, head up, deals it on the wing, rifled in by Edmonton. Bobrovsky out of the net, sweeps to the near corner. Sam Gagne sends it to the slot for Eberle. Kick, save, and a beauty. Bobrovsky gets tied up with Jack Johnson, able to kick Johnson's stick free. In front, Johansson defending against Payarvi. Whitney keeps it in. Bobrovsky out of the net. He'll leave it there. Approaching the 8-minute mark. Johansson on to R.J. Umberger. Jackets in Edmonton territory. Umberger finishing a hit there on Smeed, but the Oilers come up with it. And a long left wing feed to the right side here for Hemsky. With Nugent Hopkins. Back for Hemsky. Camped in front, Taylor Hall. Hall recently returning from an injury. A hamstring. Making a regular shift here tonight on that left wing with Atkinson defending. Chops it ahead. Hall recovers and sweeps it back behind the net. Who's out to make the play? Bobrovsky with a quick feed here to Eriksson. Hemsky trying to pinch it along the wall. Hemsky overskates the puck. Battle ensues. Hemsky reaching for it. Puck comes free. Hall and Jack Johnson fall to the ice. And Columbus able to clear. Jack Johnson having a word with the official, feeling that, Taylor Hall got an arm on him and was looking for him to be sent off.
Very seldom do you see number 7 open his mouth at all.
Dorsett. Shot pass into the slot there for Prospel that fails. Left wing Yakopov. Last June's number 1 overall pick. Pulls up. Tootin right there defending. Jackets will clear it by sending it up and into the Edmonton zone. No icing here. 11 minutes, 27 seconds remain. Second period, 1 goal here. The go-ahead goal by Payarvi, 31 seconds in. Necessitating a goaltending change. And Bobrovsky has turned aside all 4 shots that he has faced. Dubnyk leaves it behind the net. Justin Schultz, Wisconsin star. Eager across the line for Ryan Smith. Fights off a pair of the Bluejackets. Kept in by Brown up high. Tootin off the wall. Brown reaching for it. Can't make the play. Foligno able to clear it. Recovering there is Potter and dumps back in.
Well, right now the Oilers have got the ice tilted. The Jackets losing the one-on-one battles in their own zone. And you see the confidence of the Oilers beginning to grow as this game goes on. Key goal to be able to start period number 2. The Jackets have to find a little resolve.
Ryan Smith into Columbus territory. Golubov picked to clear. Foligno and a foot race here with Whitney. Gets there first. Sweeps it behind it for Brassard. In front there for R.J. Umberger, and it's tipped away. Down the right wing at center. Payarvi sweeps ahead here for Gagne. Left wing Whitney, who again joins the rush. Whitney with a goal. Pinching in off the point to tie it up late in the second. Payarvi putting them in front. They combined right there to attempt to get the Oilers up by 2. We passed the midway point of period number 2. High off the glass. Smeed is bumped. Petrie stripped of the puck by Prospel, and Dubnyk forced to make a big stop. Unable to keep it in at that right point. Hammered around the wall here by Eriksson. Prospel Passes into Edmonton territory. Smeed under control, away there from Atkinson. Petrie on to Payarvi. Payarvi at center. Payarvi lifts it in the air. Eriksson on the hard around. Prospel at center. Drops it back here for Broussard. Right wing Atkinson drills it, and that's off the mark. In front, Jack Johnson. He shoots and scores. Welcome back, Jack. Hard around. Prospel at center. Drops it back here for Broussard. Right wing Atkinson drills it, and that's off the mark. In front, Jack Johnson. Center. Drops it back here for Broussard. Right. Johnson. Better two. Circles the net. Pressured there by Nugent Hopkins. Waiting for it is Cam Atkinson. Tootin. Looking for Golubov. Prospel. Chipped off the wall by Anisimov and into Edmonton territory. Backing up Nick Schultz. Take a look at those numbers. There's Sam Gagner, but behind him is young Nugent Hopkins. 19 years, those numbers, but they've got a chance to win a Memorial Cup. They've got 10 players.
People are too quick to criticize. And look at the age of these guys. Nugent Hopkins would be a freshman in college. Look what he's accomplished. Outstanding.
Outstanding talent. Number 1 overall pick out of the Red Deer Junior program. Owned by Brent Sutter. Made the club as an 18-year-old last year. But incredible to me, the Oil Kings have always been a dominant club in the Western Hockey League. They've got 10 players older than Nugent Hopkins on their team still playing junior. That tells a story.
Yeah, and if he hadn't have been hurt last year, he would have walked away with that Calder Trophy.
Without question. Here's Prout. Sends it ahead, and Lechestu steers to the corner.
Yeah, right now, second period, you've got that long change, and you have to be very careful right now near the end of the period. You're halfway through it. Quick line changes. Make sure you get the puck deep and stay fresh.
Bouncing puck. Ryan Smith moves in and sent it over top of the net. Smith. A healthy scratch this season. Out here on the 4th line. Back at center. Last time he played center was the Oilers' first time in here. Petrie. Hits it ahead to Eager. Jackets break that up. Smeed sends it in. And icing. The call. Are we going to get a penalty here?
Looks like a little bit of a late hit. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. You see Tim Eriksson charge.
55 minor penalty for boarding.
Oh, absolutely. Charging, boarding, call it what you want.
No, Tim Eriksson turned around to the official. It was going to be an icing call. He touched the puck. Whistle went. Ben Eager come in and finish it off his check.
We will step aside. Jackets will get their 3rd power play of the hockey game. They are 1 for 2. There is the boarding call. Power play underway as it's swept down the ice by the Oilers. Tootin on here to Anisimov. Ryan Smith stepping up. Sweeps it behind the net. Collides there with Jack Johnson. Anisimov away from Gagner. Dumps it back behind. Jack Johnson waiting for it, but it'll be Tootin carrying it up ice. Feder Tootin. Left wing feed for R.J. Umberger. Less than a minute left on the power play. There's Belanger lifting it up and out, sending it between the 2 Jacket defensemen. Bobrovsky out of the net, and it's left there for Tootin. Less than 6 minutes remaining. Here in period number 2. 40 seconds of the power play. Left wing feed. Prospel can't get a stick on it. Dubnik thought about leaving the net, then thought again. Main between the pipes. Foligno moves to the point. Lechestu, Foligno, Johansson, Prospel. Benny Prospel moves. Oh, he tried to feed Johansson, but a good stick effort there. The active stick of Jones. Now Prospel on the other side. Throws it in front. Foligno denied. And a rebound swept away by the Oilers again. Short-handed, Jones will just dump to the corner. 1 second left in the Ben Eager penalty for boarding. He steps back out. And the Oilers now 2 for 3 on the kill. Jackets registered 1 shot. 1 for 3 with 7 shots on their 3 power play attempts. The Oilers have not had the manpower advantage. Jackets have showed discipline. And for good reason. This Oilers power play, 6th best in the National Hockey League, 20 goals, and they're better than 20%. Foligno, right wing, chips it behind the net. Johansson tried to get a stick on it. Petrie defending. That's Smead banking it off the wall. Gagne with the backhander, sending it the length of the ice. Jackets hustle back. It'll be icing. All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any broadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of the broadcast without the express written consent of the Columbus Blue Jackets is expressly prohibited.
Well, the Jackets have almost doubled up the shots. It's a 3-3 hockey game, and right now, you've got time on the clock to be able to try to get a little bit more crowd reaction, get people involved. You're playing at home. Somehow, some way, you've got to have some excitement.
Up on that left wing, Payarvi sweeps it behind the net, eager in pursuit. Kenzie unable to clear it. Gagne on the left wing. Now Prout stepping in front of Payarvi and hands the puck to Jack Johnson. Johnson walks to the line. Prout, left wing feed for Brassard across the line. Brassard throws it right side there for Dorsett. Dorsett trying to fish it free. Taylor Hall stepped into there by Brassard. Gets it free to McKenzie. You joined us late. Jackets playing much of this hockey game without Matt Calvert, who left 14 minutes into the first period, involved in a spirited bout with Petrie, but for obvious reasons didn't have the tie down on his jersey and was given a game misconduct as a result. The puck was scored wide of the net. Jackets all around that Edmonton cage in front. Dorsett tries to get a stick on it. Down is the goaltender, Dubnyk. He'll cover up, and we will step aside.
Game at the end of the second period. I'm with Coach Keith Acton. And Coach, what do you like so far from your team's play?
Well, one of the strengths of Edmonton is their special teams, and tonight we've got one power play goal. We're winning that department. We haven't taken a penalty yet, so that's good. As far as 5-on-5 go, they play a really aggressive system. It's almost man-on-man in every zone. Their defense are really pinching on our wingers, and our wingers are key to get back to our defense in the mid-zone and our end and give themselves a bit of time and get it past the challenge of those pinching defensemen. And if we got people skating to the pucks, one missed assignment by them, and we'll have an odd manner, and we'll get some scoring chances.
You know, they like to be able to open it up. When you've got guys who can skate and they have the skill like they do, no reason why not. Defense involved as well.
Right wing feed. Foligno steers it ahead. Nick Schultz defending. Swept to the near corner, and R.J. Umberger picks it up on the half wall, throws it back behind the net for Foligno. Right wing. That's Eberle. Sweeps it ahead. Taylor Hall back for Eberle. Puck chopped away by Golubov. Settled down by Foligno. Down that left wing. Nick Foligno at center. Sweeps into the zone. Dubnyk out to play. 2 minutes, 35 seconds left. Second period. Teams have traded second period goals. It was 2-2 after one. Payarvi, 31 seconds in, put Edmonton in front to chase Steve Mason. Then Jack Johnson, midway through the period, tied it up. That's where we are. We haven't had a shot on goal here for the last few minutes.
No, things are starting to really mellow out here in this period. That's why I say we had about 5 minutes left. That's where the Jackets needed to try to get the entire building involved somehow.
Jared Bull fights off the hit from Yakopov. Set to the Edmonton line. Yakopov now takes the pass from Whitney. Right wing. Belanger on for Yakopov. Puts the brakes on. Throws it into the slot. Bouncing puck played back to the point. Petrie. Long shot there. And that was blocked by Jared Bull. Bull deflecting it off the netting. No further play.
There's a look at Todd Richards on the left. Ralph Kruger on the right. Ralph Kruger not very happy with the loss in Minnesota the other night. Said we've got to keep a positive attitude. Tomorrow's going to be a new day. We have to approach it that way. And with Todd Richards, very happy with the team has been playing. But here tonight, 3 goals. chased Steve Mason from the net, and now it was time for the team to be able to come back. The Jackets have scored here in the third period to tie it up. The RV had scored to chase Mason. Now, this is where the Jackets have to tighten things up a little bit and keep the homeland safe.
In front, backhanded second effort, sent wide of the net. Bobrovsky looking sharp since coming on at the 31-second mark of this second period. Petrie hands to Gagne. Gagne with a left wing feed. Hemsky with Payarvi. Fires a shot high off the shoulder of Bobrovsky. We've heard the coaching staff talk in terms of looking for one of the two goaltenders. 0-0. We've heard the coaching staff talk in terms of looking for one of the two goaltenders to take charge and become the #1 netminder for the hockey club. 65 I think it would take very much right now for Sergei Bobrovsky to be that guy. For the most part, he has looked sharp when given the opportunity to step between the fights. Again here in the second period, coming in full, give him all the credit in the world. Less than a minute to go.
We give the coaching staff, they're giving Mason every opportunity, as well as Bobrovsky, to be able to garner that net. And right now, I'd say if Bobrovsky comes in here and shuts him down for the rest of the way, I don't think there's much of a decision to be made on Thursday night.
Right wing feed. That's Broussard sending it ahead. Foligno in pursuit. Nick Schultz drilled along the wall. Justin pulls up high. Tootin away from Brown. Belanger hitting Yakopov. Broussard for Jack Johnson. Tried to feed Foligno. Final seconds ticking off here. And that'll do it. As you mentioned, teams trade second period goals. And after 40 minutes of play, the Jackets are outshooting Edmonton 24-14. The score is tied at 3. Jackets with 10 shots. And is tied at 3. Jackets with 10 shots in the second period. Edmonton 7. Their two-period total 14. Back here in the arena, Jack Johnson scoring the last of the 6 goals into the score here over the 40 minutes of tonight's game, getting the Jackets even midway through the second period. Petrie gets it ahead. Eberle trying to feed Gagne. Racing into the zone is Payarvi. Tootin to play it behind the net, away from Gagne. Ryan Johansson for the Jackets, looking for Foligno. Nick Foligno in pursuit as it's moved out of the zone. Right back into Edmonton territory. Speed will try again. Forward check coming from Johansson. Petrie settles it down, throws it up the right wing. Eberle had a stick on it. Dalton Prout for Columbus. Looks to the left wing for Atkinson. Backhanding a pass ahead, looking for an easy mob. Jackets exceptional in the face-off circle tonight, winning 62% of the drives.
How about Anisimov? Another solid period. Excellent game so far. See him in that area of 70%. You know he's doing a heck of a job.
Here's Atkinson steering it ahead. Oilers get it right back. Hemsky across the line. Dishes it on the wing. Shot from the wing, deflected wide of the net. Hemsky to the point. Wristed wide off the side of the net. That's Taylor Hall. Hall deals it onto the right wing. Now goes back after it behind the net. Up along the wall. Hemsky finds Hall. It's chopped away from him and sent the length of the ice. There'll be no icing there, as it was actually chopped off the stick of the Oilers player and right down the ice. 90 seconds plus gone here in the third period.
Scoreless time.
Belanger gets it ahead. Off the stick. This is Eriksson. Eriksson, left wing for Prosper. Off the wall to center. Letestu carries in. Mark Letestu. Nothing behind the net. Rimmed around. Prosper into the slot. Letestu turns, drills it, but just wide. Eriksson, high off the glass. Chopped out of the air by Prosper. Back into Edmonton territory. Ryan Whitney patrolling the point. Carrying in, R.J. Umberger. In on Whitney. Backhands it across the goal box. Bull attempted to get a stick on it. Jackets playing one forward down, 11 forwards, with Matt Calvert getting a game misconduct for not having his jersey tied down. Wardrobe malfunction, you might call it. And our IGS Energy performer through 2 periods of play, Vinny Prospel. A goal and an assist, team-leading 9th goal, 4th power play goal to lead the Jackets in that category. And how about this? Now 749 career points for Vinny Prospel. The next goal or assist will be his 750th point.
Well, he has been a mainstay. I'll tell you, the last couple of games, he's had opportunities. He's getting shots. One thing is, he's been aggressive. You get him in that offensive zone, and if he's utilizing his body, he'll protect the puck, and then he'll make something happen. He does a great job of being able to read off of the defenseman where the pressure is going to come from. He goes back the other way.
Brassard wins the draw. Golobuff throws it across to that left point. Jackets unable to keep it in. Tootin, whose shot is blocked by the Oilers. Now pressured there by Brown. Mike Brown. Practiced with the Oilers yesterday after being acquired by Edmonton for a conditional 4th-round pick. And in the lineup tonight, Van Eager on that left wing. Eager pressures Tootin. He gets it to R.J. Umberger. Turned over, and Eager rifles it wide. Jackets are guilty of another turnover in their zone. They've got to stay away from those balls.
No, the puck management has to be better. It started poorly for this team. Now it's got to be better. You're in the last 20 minutes of play.
Here's Everett. Gets it up high. Justin Schultz. And play called. We're going to get a penalty here. And it will be the first power play for Edmonton.
We'll get the latest news and information on the Cincinnati Reds from Goodyear, Arizona, starting this Monday, March the 4th at 10 on Reds Live Spring Training 2013. Gina Day, Jeff Picaro, and Chris Welch bringing the latest from Reds camp as they get ready for the upcoming season. Reds Live Spring Training 2013 starting Monday at 10 on Fox Sports Ohio.
3:33, the time of the penalty to Prout for high sticking. Oilers come in tonight. 6th best in the National Hockey League. 20 power play goals, 21.5% on the power play. Dare I say, the Jackets have not allowed an opposition power play goal in 6 straight games. They've killed off 16 in a row. They're on the prowl looking for the go-ahead goal, shorthanded here. They own the Oilers, whose power play goal, or shorthanded goal, against Columbus the first time in by Payarvi, put Edmonton up 2-1 late in period number 3. And then the empty net goal sealed it despite a 40-shot performance and a dominating performance by the Jackets. As Todd Richards said this morning, he liked everything but the final score from his hockey club. Payarvi is dropped. And he is slow to get up as the Jackets move up ice. Short-handed. Dorsett, Letestu, left wing. Dorsett looking for that tic-tac-toe play from Jack Johnson. But just failed to click.
I think that kind of surprised Dorsett. That puck got back to him quickly. Jack Johnson, well, he probably could have shot. Dorsett would have been around for the rebound, but that pass surprised him.
Out of the corner. Sam Atkinson throws it back to the point. Great penalty killing here by the Jackets. And you can just see the confidence this club has right now in killing off opposition power plays. Dubnyk, ribbon around the wall. Picked up here by Nugent Hopkins. Approaching the 5-minute mark. A 3-3 tie here in the 3rd. Dumped wide of the net. Anisimov. We'll let Erickson play it. Taylor Hall can't get a stick on it. Anisimov heads up for the Jackets. 22 seconds left. R.J. Umberger shorthanded. Pulls up Jackets with a pair of shorthanded goals. They own the Oilers one here. Ryan Smith onto Taylor Hall. Final 11 seconds. Taylor Hall trying to walk around Erickson, who wasn't biting. Up high, this is Petrie. Hands to Hemsky, back to Petrie. The screen being set by Ryan Smith in front. Down to 2 and 1. Prout steps up, back at full strength. Jackets block it. Petrie up high. Prout racing back into the play. Far side, that's Taylor Hall with Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins along the wall looking to dance free. On to Ryan Smith. Smith. Nugent Hopkins. Jackets crowd here showing their support for the superb play of the Jackets on The shorthanded situation. They did not allow a shot on goal. Our AEP power play summary. Edmonton, as we mentioned, no shots on the just concluded power play. Jackets 1 for 3 with 7 shots. The Prosper goal, his 4th power play goal of the season, assisted by Johansson and Leicester, who continues an assist streak now to 4 games. Leicester with 5 assists in the last 4 games. From the drop, Belanger hands to Jones. Right back to Belanger. Gets away from him. Oilers throw it back to the point. Shot by 2-3 block. Brown trying to shovel it towards the net. It's out of the zone, and Smeed will dump back in. Oilers clear the zone. And now, hustle back as Prout hangs onto that puck before handing to Foligno. Nick Foligno. Right wing feed, Leicester. Chop behind the net. Comes right through to Vinny Prosper. Foligno. Handing to Golubov, and it's turned aside by the stick save. Left wing into the slot here, Leicester. Mark Leicester for Prosper off the heel of the stick. Oilers able to block it and shovel it out to neutral ice. Stepping up here now is Golubov. He'll dump it wide of the net. Petrie to the far side for Eberle. Approaching the 7-minute mark of this third period. Tripped up was Belanger. The Jackets are going to be penalized again here. Unaware of it is Dubnyk, who now realizes the official has his hand in the air. 6 skaters on for Edmonton. Back-to-back power plays. Gagne. Petrie. Thrown behind the net. It's Broussard in pursuit. Ryan Smith hands to Smeed. Oh, that was dangerous. Had Smeed stepped another 2 feet in front, Broussard could have chopped it right into the net and would have counted. Broussard heads off. 3-3 to score. Power play upcoming for Edmonton, but take a look at this. When trailing after 2 periods, they're 4-3 in the two. Of course, they were tied, and they have yet to record a victory when tied. They're 0-6.
Talking to Bob Stauffer this morning, and I asked him about his team. He said, you know, come third period, there's a little disconnect between the defense and the offense. And they get off, and good work here to draw penalty.
Anisimov keeping the feet moving. Yakopov hauling them down. That'll nullify the power play. We'll see some 4-on-4 hockey with last year's number 1 pick, Yakopov, headed off. Here it is.
I talked to Arden this morning if he knew Neel Yakopov, and he said no. He said, I introduced myself to him today. We had a chance to chat in our native tongue, but that is it. He said he's a good player, but he says tonight I will dominate him. So he gets an opportunity right now to play 4-on-4 hockey. Exactly what the Jackets would like to be able to have.
No item in replay button. Hockey board.
9 seconds.
Slider at 1 hour 13 minutes 19 seconds of 1 hour. 1 hour 13 minutes 22 seconds of 1 hour 46 minutes.
On the Jackets penalty.
Hockey board.
Starting through traffic. Most of the next 2 minutes, teams will play 4 shots. Nick Schultz backhands it in. Golubov. Puck played there by Tooten. Ryan Johansson carries into the zone. How about Johansson coming into this third period? Johansson has won 17 of his last 25 faceoffs over the previous 2 games, including tonight.
It's 29. Yeah, that's something that, again, he's taken a lot of pride in. He's been working hard at it.
Eberle deals to the point. Shot by Smeed. Redirected by Bobrovsky. Smeed. Eberle stepped into there. Golubov takes it from Tooten. Golubov dancing away from Eberle. Gagne now pressuring. Eberle back for Smeed. Smeed along the wall. Looks for Gagne. It'll be played there by Golubov. Less than 11.5 minutes left, third period. Regulation time. Jackets will have a power play for all of 9 seconds. Foligno overskates the puck at center. Nick Foligno handing the puck ahead to Jack Johnson. Johnson from a sharp angle sends it off the side of the net. Oilers got to steer it out of the zone. That was Petrie, Umberger defending. Foligno now dancing away. Foligno gets it back to Prout. Ricochets wide of the net. The screen was set in front of Dubnyk. He never saw it.
up by Prout. A little mustard on it. Nice heavy shot.
Nugent Hopkins drops it back. Whitney's shot off the pad of Bobrovsky. Approaching the midway point of this third period. Broussard now standing and steps out. Jackets power play. A brief one here. Broussard into the zone. Sends it right in on Dubnyk. Out steps Yakopov. And they find Yakopov at center. Jackets defend. Eriksson. And Jack Johnson. There's Dorsett. Left wing feed. Derek Broussard. A coin now. Manning that right point with Eriksson. Again, the Jackets throw it across the goal line. Picked up there by Nick Schultz onto Belanger with Jones. Chipped in off the wall. Behind the net. Bobrovsky. Oilers change up. 9:56 left. Letestu to Eriksson, who joins a rush. Long 56 left.
No item used.
Hold on. 9:50 left. 3-3 to score. We'll be right back. 9:50 left. 3-3 to score.
Bluejackets.
No
We'll be
item.
right back.
The second overtime.
3 with 9:50 left. How about the big lots, big play?
45
Well,
Oilers.
it comes from number 22. 13:45 of period number 1 power play. And who's around the net? It is Vinny Prospel from Johansson to Letestu. Prospel, his 9th. There isn't a guy in the National Hockey League that likes to score any more than number 22.
Prospel also with an assist tonight. 1 point from 750. And as long as an illustrious career. Talking to Vinny this morning, very early this morning here in the bowels of the arena. I said, Vinny, the way you're going, you can play several more years. Just kind of cracked a smile and said, we'll see.
Yeah, he's not going to show his hand. He wants to play this game as long as he can. There's no question about it. Loves the city. And right now, he's having some fun. Like to be able to see more wins, though.
Here, buried in and across the line. That's Belanger right in on Bobrovsky. That buck melt up in the equipment, no further play. 9:22 left.
You know, Eric Belanger, one-time LA King. And I had a chance to work with Eric Belanger back in 1996. Was new player development for the Florida Panthers, and Eric was an 18-year-old up in Thunder Bay. He has one thing going for him. He has hockey sense, and he's another one of those guys that loves to play the game.
Faced off to the left of Bobrovsky. Jackets win a draw. Who else but Ryan Johansson? It was offside and fired back in. We'll have a draw outside the zone. Here now is tonight's AT&T fast breakout.
But how about this goal in the second period? It is the game-time goal. Nice play by Johnson to be able to find the seam in that defensive zone. And the pass by Derek Broussard right on the stick. High up over top of that glove. Cam Atkinson looking around just in case there was a rebound, but it was all Jack Johnson. Here's another guy. Just loves to play the game. Always a smile on his face. He hates to sit. You know, one night close to 35 minutes. And he said he could have played another 5.
34-59. He was upset he didn't get to that 35-minute mark. Johansson wins the draw, but it's steered back to the point. Gagne reaching for it, can't make the play. Far side KRV. Prout just shovels it ahead. R.J. Umberger along the wall. Can't hang on. Gagne throws it behind the net. Johansson sweeps to Prout. Umberger, right wing feed. Foligno, 3-on-2. Foligno looks to Umberger. Left wing. Oh, nice pad save there by Dubnyk, who was kind of handcuffed on that shot. That one kind of surprised him. Meantime, Oilers into the offensive zone. Good transition. Gagne the shot. Down is Bobrovsky. And he'll cover up and hang on.
You got to give Dubnyk a lot of credit at the other end. Bobrovsky being able to make the save. And tell you what, when the Jackets come across that line, they had a little bit of speed. They had some separation. And they had a chance to be able to make that cross-ice pass. And I think as Dubnyk moved across, I think he lost a little bit of his balance, started to lean forward. But a good save by Dubnyk to be able to keep it a 3-3 game.
8:34 left. Third period, regulation time. 2-2 after 1. Teams scored goals in the second. We're at 3-3. Less than 8.5 minutes left. one.
No item in YouTube video player.
Two straight goals in the second. We're at 3-3. Less than 8.5 minutes left.
What 30 saves?
Right wing carried into the zone. Hemsky pulls up. Goal line. Taylor Hall. Ripped it. Hemsky gets it back. Throws it behind the net. Nugent Hopkins. Away from Erickson for Taylor Hall. Defending is Dorsett. Hemsky walks out of the corner. Looks up high. Shot there by Justin Schultz. Sent wide. Taylor Hall. Oilers with the pressure on. Possible to steal. Off the glass, but not out. One Schultz to the other. Right in and held by Bobrovsky.
The fans Saturday, March the 16th, is Hockey and Heels night with the Blue Jackets. Enjoy a ladies' night out. Discuss the game with James Wisniewski, Coach Dan Hino, NHL officials, and others. Package includes a game ticket or hors d'oeuvres and drinks, a commemorative wine glass, and more for just $60. Get your tickets now at bluejackets.com/hockeyandheels.
Big face-off here. An easy mouth for the Jackets. Belanger wins it cleanly. One of the strengths of Belanger. And cleanly wins the draw away from an easy mouth. The Jackets have owned the face-off circle tonight. Here's an easy mouth. Away from Jones. Hands it to Fedorchuk. Less than 7.5 left. Outlet pass for up there by Smee. The puck sails length of the ice. And Newman will set it up for Petrie. Jeff Petrie. Cap behind the net. Ian Speed are on the line. Up front, Belanger. Jones. And waiting way up high was Yakopov. And it's Yakopov now. Looking for Belanger. Knocked out of the air. Belanger sweeps it behind the net. Bobrovsky out to set it up. And hands a backhand here to Golubov. Headman there to Atkinson. Pass cut off there by Ryan Smith. Good anticipation, but the Jackets will send it back up and out, and actually right onto the Columbus bench.
Okay, Atkinson took a chance making that pass through the neutral zone as they started to move up ice. There was a line change by Edmonton, and Ryan Smith almost went to the races back the other way. Talking with Ken Anderson after that game the other night, he took a high stick in the facial area. No call was made. You can see right across the bridge of the nose. High stick, nothing but blood. Tonight, he took a high stick in the facial area. No call was made. You can see right across the bridge of the nose. High stick, nothing but blood. But he's talking with Ken Anderson. After that game the other night, he took a high stick in the facial area. No call was made. You can see right across the bridge of the nose. Nothing but blood, but he's no worse to wear. Out here tonight, being talking with Ken Anderson. After that game, he took a high stick in the facial area. No call was made. You can see right across the bridge of the nose. High stick, nothing but blood, but he's no worse to wear. Out here tonight, being involved in this one.
And either. Right there with Brown, who slips and falls. Either along the wall. Ryan Smith or Brown, who chipped it wide of the net. Brown. Tying up Jack Johnson. Cross ice. Here's his shot. That's sent wide of the net there by the stick of Potter. Ryan Smith wins the battle. Potter hands it here to Whitney. Whitney floats one in and it's deflected wide off Jack Johnson. Derek McKenzie out there with R.J. Umberger and Bull. Bull the right wing in front. Oh, look at Dubnik down. Covering up on the Umberger shot from the left wing.
How about that pass by Bull? You take a look at that going wide. There's a right-handed shot coming down that right wing. Watch the pass that he makes and how much speed it has on it. And Umberger does a nice job to corral it. And in the meantime, he lets it go. McKenzie, he's going to the net in case there's a rebound. McKenzie better stick around in front of that.
Well, we talked about Jared Bull's hands for a different purpose, but I tell you what, he's got some soft hands, and we've seen evidence of it throughout tonight's hockey game.
He's playing some pretty solid hockey.
Kayardi reaching for it, can't make the play. A point step in front of Kayardi. And now deals it back to Erickson. Up on the left wing, Vinny Prosper. Looking for the chest beat. Gagne sends it ahead. Jackets chop it into the zone. That's Dorsett. Gagne flips to the corner. Dorsett steps up. Letestu in the corner. Away from Schultz. Prosper off the side of the net. Throws it in front again, hugging the near post. And getting the pad on the puck is Dubnyk, as Prosper has been all around the net tonight. He can't believe it. Body had it short side. Really Prosper with the Jackets dead even. He can't believe it. Body had it short side. Really Prosper with the Jackets dead even. Believe it. Body had it short side. Really Prosper with the Jackets dead even.
No item. 55 volume.
Jack Johnson ties it at 3. Time on the clock. Jackets have had a pretty short
Blue Jackets for the extra 20 minutes of overtime. We'll see them out.
5:39 left.
Johansson
for another drop. Here, Golubov throws it behind the net.
Blue Jackets. The scoreless tie.
Hemsky on that far side. Hemsky for the second effort up half a guy to R.J. Umberger. Johansson and Foligno. Umberger wins it out along the board. Wrap around the tip. Sails off the stick there of Dubnyk. Up high, Golubov at center. Sends Johansson in. Behind Johansson. Stick to side. Dubnyk. Bouncing back. Justin Schultz. Right wing for Hemsky. R.J. Umberger unable to keep it in up high. Tooten has it. He'll throw it ahead. Edmonton change up on the fly. Taylor Hall steps in front with a pass intended for Nick Foligno.
Right now the Jackets have to finish their shifts. A couple of turnovers here in the last minute. They've got to continue to work for the 30 seconds they're on the ice.
Dalton Prout hustling back. Golubov.
You see video player group.
Off the wall. Out to center. Tayarvi drops it back for Petrie. Less than 4.5 left. Jack Johnson. Dumps to the open corner. Dubnyk out. And he'll tee it up. Petrie. Dishes here to Smead. Racing down the left side to center. Ladislav Smead. Sweeps it deep in the zone. Everly in pursuit. Caught there by Letestu. Gagne sends it off the side of the net. Jack Johnson chips it to the wall. Here's Dorsett. Flipping the backhand. Gagne knocked off the puck by Prout. Everly. Jack Johnson and Prout there. The others giving up some size in that corner. And the Jackets come up with a puck, and it's Vinny Prosper. Flips it in the air, looking for Letestu. Speed on the backhand. Jackets are changed up on the flat. Gagne carries in. Gagne tripped up.
There's a dive if there's any.
Here is a Nisman. Fourth on this. Less than 4 after regulation. Nisman leaving. Nisman. The backhand shot redirected by Whitney and Ryan. Nisman keeps it in. Gives it there to Erickson. Shot blocked by Tayarvi. 1 point. That's a point for the puck. Cam Atkinson. Derek Brissett looking for Nisman. Carried into the zone. Drop pass there for Belanger. Center. Moved by Broussard. Up high. Shot by Justin Schultz. Down is Bobrovsky, and he will cover up. No further flip. Moved by Broussard. Up high. Shot by Justin Schultz. Down is Bobrovsky, and he will cover up.
And a save by Sunday Bobrovsky.
No further play. On the scoring tonight is the two goaltenders. Steve Mason on the right. Gave up 3 goals in the first 8 shots.
45
at the 31-second mark.
45
of the second period. 7 saves and 16 stops of 24 for Sergei Bobrovsky.
Bobrovsky has been aggressive. He's working big in the net, minimizing his motions, and right now he's being able to control the rebounds. Against his Edmonton Oilers.
He has not given up a goal. He has stopped 17 of the 24 shots the Oilers have sent towards the net. Johansson drops it back for 2. Matt Johnson. Tooten up the left wing, redirected. Arrested away by Foligno. the goal. Deep down in Jackets territory. And Ison.
Early Blue Jackets game. Fox Sports breaks down the game. Talks to the players and the coaches on Blue Jackets Live, presented by ITS Energy. ITS Energy. Take control of your natural gas and electricity costs and roll it down at ITSEnergy.com.
Face off to Dubnik's right. One by Bluejackets. Nick Schultz. Backhands ahead, looking for Taylor Hall. Jackets break it up. Dorsett now races into the zone. Letestu to the net. Dorsett trying to pull the trigger. Shot is blocked. Letestu now cycles up. Letestu for Dorsett. Dorsett chips Letestu for Dorsett. Looking to walk out. Throws it up high. Garrison. Winning Prosper. Tied up by Ladislav Speed. Letestu down by. Speed defending. The battle continues. The puck comes free as Dorsett stepping up. Here's Letestu walks in. The puck just rolled off his stick. He tried to go backhand to forehand. Puck rolled off his stick and it swept down the ice, and it's Eriksson stepping away from Bayarvi. Eberle walks in front. Good effort there by the youngster. And the Jackets equal to the task. Dorsett settles it down. Dick Foligno, left wing, and across the line. Petrie defending. As Foligno falls, he's able to get back up, protect that puck, tried to feed Johansson, and the Oilers are content at this point just to send it down. Picked up Jones, and the shot was blocked, and alertly so there by Jack Johnson. Jones racing down that right side, Jack Johnson defending, and now Johansson the other way. Less than a minute to go in regulation. 3-3 the score. It's a scoreless third period.
No score.
Johansson, a burner denied. Dubnyk, the stop. Foligno now. Looking for Johansson. Bouncing puck in front. Umberger. Defending is Potter. Potter comes up with it.
Stanley comes to
Final minute of play. Smith over. Shoots the puck. There's Jones. He'll fire. Save the basket.
100
Foligno. On ahead here to center. Backhanded by Jack Johnson and wide of the net. Justin Schultz on the harder line. Looking. Taylor Hall overskates it. A coin with a shot that's blocked. Chipped off the glass. A coin gloves it. And play call. We will step front of the net. Tries to Hopkins. Final second. Here. We will get overtime. It's the third overtime for them in the last 4 games.
Here in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
3-3 the score.
0-0 the score. That's the 60 minutes. We'll get into overtime after the intermission.
No.
The Columbus Blue Jackets in the third period
of tonight's game, getting the Jackets even midway through the second period.
Shot 37
of tonight's game, getting the Jackets even midway through the second period. Petrie gets in ahead. Gagne racing into the zone is Bayarvi. Turkey to play it behind the net, away from Gagne. Ryan Johansson for the Jackets, looking for Foligno. Nick Foligno in pursuit as it's moved out of the zone. Right back into Edmonton territory. Speed will try again. Short check coming from Johansson. Petrie settles it down, throws it up to right wing. Eberle had a stick on it. But he fights for Columbus. Looks to the left wing for Atkinson. Backhanding the pass ahead, looking for an easy mark. Jackets exceptional in the face-off circle tonight, winning 62% of the draw. Is Atkinson spearing it ahead.
Perry, excellent game so far. See him in that area of 70%. You know he's doing a heck of a job.
Here's Atkinson spearing it ahead. Oilers get it right back. Hensky across the line. Pushes it on the wing. Shot from the wing, deflected wide of the net. Hensky to the point. Wristed wide, off the side of the net. That's Taylor Hall. Hall steals it onto the right wing. Now goes back after it behind the net. Up along the wall. Hensky finds Hall. It's chopped away from him and sent back to the ice. There'll be no icing there as it was actually chopped off the stick of the Oilers player and right down the ice. 90 seconds plus gone here in the third period. 90 seconds plus gone here in the third period.
Here in overtime. The first overtime.
Belanger gets it ahead. Off the stick. This is Erickson. Erickson, left wing for Prosper. Off the wall to center. Lecheski carries in. Out for Lecheski. Dumping it behind the net. Turned around. Prosper and the slot. Lecheski turns, drills it, but just wide. Erickson. From territory. Cross. Shot. Out of the air by Prosper. Back into Edmonton territory. Ryan Whitney controlling the point. Carrying in. R.J. Umberger. In on Whitney. Backhands it across the goal line. Moore attempting to get a stick on it. Jackets playing. One forward down. 11 forwards with Matt Calvert getting a game misconduct for not having his jersey tied down. Wardrobe malfunction, you may call it. And our ITS Energy performer through 2 periods of play, Vinny Prosper. A goal and an assist, team leading 9-4. 4 power play win lead the Jackets in that category. And how about this? Now 749 career points for Vinny Prosper. The next goal and assist will be his 750th point.
Well, he has been a mainstay. I tell you, the last couple of games, he's had opportunity.
With Matt Calvert getting a game misconduct for not having his jersey tied down. Wardrobe malfunction, you may call it. And our ITS
No item in view NHL January 20. Next keyboard shortcut shift. No item in 10 bucks. No item in. Nope. No item in.
Utilizing his body, he'll protect the puck, and then
YouTube video player. Cross keyboard shortcut cable.
One thing will be his set of games. He's had opportunities. He's getting shots. One thing
No item in view. Next keyboard shortcut shift plus N button shift.
And if he's utilizing his body, he'll protect the puck, and then he'll make something happen.
No item.
He does a great job of being able to read off of the defenseman where the pressure is going to come from. He goes back the other way. The puck, protects the puck, and then he'll make something happen. He does a great job of being able to read off of the defenseman where the pressure is going to come from. He goes back the other way.
Broussard wins the draw. Golobuff throws it across to that left point. Jackets unable to keep it in. Tooten, whose shot was blocked by the Oilers, now pressured there by Brown. Mike Brown. Practice with the Oilers yesterday after being acquired by Edmonton for a conditional 4th-round pick. And in the lineup tonight, Van Eager on that left wing. Eager pressures Tooten. He gets it to R.J. Umberger. Turned over, and Eager rifles it wide.
No item in view.
Jackets guilty of another turnover in their zone. They've got to stay away from those goals.
No, the puck management has to be better. It started poorly for this team. Now it's got to be better. You're in the last 20 minutes of play.
Here's Everett. Gets it up high. Preston Schultz. And play call. We're going to get a penalty here. And it will be the first.
No item.
Jim Day, Jeff McCarroll, and Chris Welch bring you the latest from Reds camp as they get ready for the upcoming season. Reds Live Spring Training 2013 starting Monday at 10 on Fox Sports Ohio.
3:33, the time of the penalty to Prout for house sticking. Oilers come in tonight.
In overtime.
20 power play goals, 21.5% power play goal in 6 straight games. They've killed off 16 in a row. They're on the prowl looking for the go-ahead goal short-handed here. They own the Oilers, whose power play goal, short-handed goal, against Columbus the first time in. by Payarvi put Edmonton up 2-1 late in period number 3. And then the empty net goal sealed it despite a 40-shot performance and a dominating performance by the Jackets. As Todd Richards said this morning, he liked everything but the final score from his hockey club. Payarvi is dropped. And he is slow to get out as the Jackets move up ice. Short-handed, Dorset, Lechesny, left wing. Dorset looking for that tic-tac-toe play from Jack Johnson. It just failed to play.
I think that kind of surprised Dorset. That puck got back to him quickly. Jack Johnson, well, he probably could have shot. Dorset would have been around for the rebound, but that kind of surprised him.
Out of the corner. Cam Atkinson throws it back to the point. Great penalty killing here by the Jackets. And you can just see the confidence of these 12 guys right now.
No item in Utah's people should have paid everything.
Dubnik, a ribbon around the wall. Picked up here by Nugent Hopkins. Approaching the 5-minute mark. A 3-3 tie here in the third.
0-0 tie.
Wide of the net.
Here in overtime.
We'll let Erickson play it. Taylor Hall can't get a stick on it. And Anisimov heads up for the Jackets. 22 seconds left. RJ Upper shorthanded. Pulls up Jackets with a pair of shorthanded goals. The Oilers one here. Ryan Smith on to Taylor Hall. Final 11 seconds. Taylor Hall trying to walk around Erickson, who wasn't biting. Up high, this is Petrie. Hands to Hensky, back to Petrie. The screen being set by Ryan Smith in front. Down to 2 and 1. Crouch steps up, back to full strength. Jackets block it. Petrie up high. Crouch racing back into the play. Far side, that's Taylor Hall with Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins along the wall, looking to dance free. Up to Ryan Smith. Smith. Nugent Hopkins. Jackets crowd here showing their support for the superb play of the Jackets on the shorthanded situation. They did not allow a shot on goal. Our AEP power play summary. Edmonton, as we mentioned, no shots in the just included power play. Jackets 1 for 3 with 7 shots. The Prosper goal, his 4th power play goal of the season, assisted by Johansson and Lechesny, who continues an assist streak now to 4 games. Lechesny with 5 assists in the last 4 games. From the drop, Belanger hands to Jones. Right back to Belanger. Gets away from him. Oilers throw it back to the point. Shot by Petrie, blocked. Brown trying to shovel it towards the net. It's out of the zone, and Sneed will dump back in. Oilers clear the zone, and now hustle back as Prout hangs onto that puck before handing to Foligno. Nick Foligno, right wing feed, Lechesky. Shot behind the net, comes right through to Vinny Prosper. Foligno handing to Golubov, and it's turned aside by the stick save. Left wing into the slot here, Lechesky. Mark Lechesky for Prosper off the heel of his stick. Oilers able to block it and shovel it out to neutral ice. Stepping up here now is Golubov. He'll dump it wide of the net. Petrie to the far side for Eberle. Approaching the 7-minute mark of this third period. Approaching the 7-minute mark of this third period.
Overtime.
Tripped up was Belanger. The Jackets are going to be penalized again here. Unaware of it is Dubnik, who now realizes the official has his hand in the air. 6 skaters out for Edmonton. Back-to-back power play. Gagne. Petrie. Thrown behind the net. It's Broussard in pursuit. Ryan Smith hands to Smead. Oh, that was dangerous. They're 4th.
Talking about between the... Give a chance. We're going to be able to finish it off. And good work here to draw penalty.
Anisimov keeping the feet moving. Yakopov hauling them down. That'll nullify the power play. We'll see some 4-on-4 hockey with last June's #1 pick, Yakopov, headed off.
Well,
it is.
I talked to Arvin this morning if he knew Neel Yakopov, and he said no. He said, I introduced myself to him today. We had a chance to chat in our native tongue, but that is it. He said he's a good player, but he says tonight I will dominate him. So he gets an opportunity right now to play 4-on-4 hockey. And he said, no. He said, I introduced myself to him today. We had a chance to chat in our native tongue, but that is it. He said he's a good player, but he says, tonight I will dominate him. So he gets an opportunity right now to play 4-on-4 hockey in our native tongue, but that is it. He said he's a good player, but he says, tonight I will... to chat in our native tongue, but that is it. So I introduced myself to him today. We had a chance to chat in our native tongue, but that is it. Said he's a good player, but he says, him this morning if he knew Neel Yakopov, and he said no. So I introduced myself to him today. We had a chance to chat in our native tongue, but that is it. Said he's a good player, but we had a chance to chat in our native tongue, but that is it. Said he's a good player, but he says tonight I will dominate him. So he gets an opportunity right now. Says tonight I will dominate him. So he gets an opportunity right now. Play 4-on-4 hockey. Exactly what the Jackets would like to be able to have. Exactly what the Jackets would like to be able to have. 9 seconds. The clock. The Jackets penalty. Stop. 9 seconds. Off the clock. The Jackets penalty. Stop for tripping. For the next 2 minutes, the team will play 4 shots. Nick. 9 seconds. Off the clock. The Jackets penalty. Stop for tripping. 9 seconds. Off the clock. The Jackets penalty. Stop for tripping. Nick Schultz backhands it in. Golubov. Played there by Tooten. Ryan Johansson carries into the zone. How about Johansson coming into this third period? Johansson has won 17 of his last 25 faceoffs over the previous 2 games, including tonight. It's 29. Yeah, that's something that, again, he's taken a lot of pride in. He's been working hard at it. Beverly deals to the point. Shot by Smeed. Redirected by Bobrovsky. Smeed. Beverly stepped into there. Golubov takes it.
No item in deep.
Golubov dancing away from Beverly. Gagne now pressuring. Beverly back for Smeed. Smeed along the wall. Looks for Gagne. It'll be played there by Golubov. Less than 11.5 minutes left. Third period. Regulation.
Two video players here.
Jackets will have a power play for all of 9 seconds. Foligno overskates the puck of center. Get Foligno. Handing the puck ahead to Jack Johnson. Johnson for the shot. Sends it off the sideline.
Foligno. The overtime win. He shoots. He scores! Nick Foligno wins it in overtime!
Outstanding and steps up. Jackets are more clean. Refund here for side into the zone.
Bluejackets.
Sends it right in on Dubnik. Ricochets.
The shot.
Will dominate him, so he gets an opportunity. With tonight.
Hockey board shirt at KW. Breaking board shirt at KW.
Ability to finish a game. Little disconnect between the defense and the offense, and the ability to finish games off. I'm going to bounce off for this morning. 0-6. Talking to Bob Stauffer this morning, and I asked him about his team. He said, come third period, there's a little disconnect between the defense and the offense, and the ability to finish games off when they should. Something, again, that has to be corrected. Even with the Jackets. Something, again, that has to be corrected. Even with the Jackets. Get a chance, and you've got to be able to finish it off, and good work here to draw penalty. At least you're not keeping the feet moving. Yakopov hauling them down. That'll nullify the power when they should. Something, again, that has to be corrected. With a chance, you've got to be able to finish it off, and good ability to finish games off when they should. Something, again, that has to be be corrected. The Jackets get a chance. And six. Talking to Bob Stauffer this morning, and I asked him about his team. He said, you know, come third period, there's a little disconnect between the defense and the offense, and you get the ability to finish games off.
YouTube video player group. YouTube video player group. No item in
When they shift. Something again that has to be corrected. Even with the Jackets, get a chance, and you got to get it. Something again that has to be corrected. Even with the Jackets, get a chance, and you got to be able to finish it off. And good work here to draw penalty.
At least you're not keeping the feet moving yet.
See the ability to finish games off when they shift. Something again that has to
nullify the power play. We'll see some 4-on-4 hockey with last year's number 1 pick, Yakopov. Headed off. Here it is.
I talked to Hogan this morning if he knew Neel Yakopov, and he said no. He said, I introduced myself to him today. We had a chance to chat in our native tongue, but that is it. He said he's a good player, but he says tonight I will dominate him. So he gets an opportunity right now. Play 4-on-4 hockey. Jumpers at the Jackets would like to be able to have.
9 seconds off the clock. And the Jackets.
Jumpers at the Jackets would like to be able to have.
9 seconds off the clock. And the Jackets penalty. And side control. Most of the next 2 minutes, the teams will play 4-side. Nick Schultz backhands it in. How about Joe, including tonight?
It's 29. No, it's something that, again, he's taken a lot of pride in. He's been working hard at it.
Everly deals to the point. Shot by Smeed. Redirected by Bobrovsky. Smeed. Everly stepped into there. Golubov takes it from Tutin. Golubov dancing away from Everly. Gagne now pressuring. Everly back for Smeed. Smeed along the wall. Looks for Gagne to be played there by Golubov. Less than 11.5 minutes left, third period. Regulation time. Less than 11.5 minutes left, third period. Regulation time. Jackets will have a power play for all of 9 seconds. Foligno overskates the puck at center. With Foligno. Handing the puck ahead to Jack Johnson. Johnson from the sharp angle sends it off the side of the net. Oilers trying to steer it out of the zone. That was Petrie, underway defending. Foligno now dancing away. Foligno gets it back to Prout. Ricochets wide of the net. The screen was set in front of Dubnyk. He never shot.
Shot by Prout. A little mustard on him. Nice heavy shot.
Nugent Hopkins drops it back. Whitney shot off the pad of Bobrovsky. Approaching midway point of this third period. Broussard now standing and steps up. Jackets power play. A brief one here. Broussard into the zone. Sends it right in on Dubnyk. Out steps Yakopov. And they find Yakopov at center. Jackets defend. Erickson. And Jack Johnson. There's Joseph, left wing feed. Derek Broussard. A coin now, mounting that right point with Erickson. Again, the Jackets throw it across the goal box. Picked up there by Nick Schultz on the Belanger. With Jones. Chipped in off the wall. Behind the net. Bobrovsky. Oilers change up. 9:56 left. Lechester to Eric. Oilers change up. So, Vinny, the way you're warmed up this morning here in the bowels of the arena, smiled and said, we'll see.
Yeah, he's not going to show his hand. He wants to play this game as long as fun. I'd like to be able to see more wins, though.
Here, right in across overtime. Belanger right in on Bobrovsky. What's that? Loves to play the Bobrovsky jump. It was outside and fired back in. We'll have a draw outside the zone. Here now is tonight's AT&T Fast Breakout.
And how about this goal in the second period? It is the game-time goal. Nice play by Johnson. Johnson to be able to find the seam in that defensive zone. And the pass by Derek Brassard right on the stick. Tied to the top of that glove. Ken Atkinson looking around just in case there was a rebound, but it was all Jack Johnson. Looking around just in case there was a rebound, but it was all Jack Johnson. Here's another guy. Just wants to play the game. Always a smile on his face. He hates to sit. As we know, Nick goes to 35 minutes. And he said he could have played another 5. 34 set. As we know, Nick goes to 35 minutes. And he said he could have played another 5. 34-59. He was upset he didn't get it. As we know, Nick 34-59. He was upset he didn't get to that 35-minute mark. Johansson brings the draw, but it's steered back to the point. Gagne reaching for it, can't make the play. Far side KRV, Crouch just shovels it ahead. R.J. Umberger along the wall, can't hang on. Gagne throws it behind the net. Johansson sweeps to Crouch. Umberger, right wing feed. Foligno, 3-on-2. Foligno looks to Umberger. Left wing, oh, nice pad save there by Dubnyk, who was kind of handcuffed on that shot. That one kind of surprised him. Meantime, Oilers in the offensive zone. Good transition, Gagne the shot, down is Bobrovsky. And he'll cover up and across. And they keep it a 3-3 game. Team straight goals in the second. We're at 3-3. Less than 8.5 minutes left.
No goals.
Right wing, carried into the zone. Hemsky pulls up, goal line. Taylor Hall. Ripped it. Hemsky gets it back, throws it behind the net. Nugent Hopkins. Away from Erickson for Taylor Hall. Defending his Dorsett. Hemsky walks out of the corner. Looks up high. Shot there by Justin Schultz, set wide. Taylor Hall. Oilers with the pressure on. Possible to steal. Off the glass, but not out. One Schultz to the other. Right in and held by Bobrovsky. The fans. The Jackets have owned the face-off circle tonight. The draw away from the Nisimov. The Jackets have owned the face-off circle tonight. Here's the Nisimov. Away from Jones. Hands it to Featherton. Less than 7.5 left. Outlet pass for Nisimov. Caught there by Smooth. The puck sails the length of the ice. And Dubnyk will set it up for Petrie. Jeff Petrie. Back behind the net. Ian Speed along the line. Up front, Belanger. Jones. And waiting. Way up. It was Yakopov. It's Yakopov now. Looking for Belanger. Knocked out of the air. Belanger swings it behind the net. Bobrovsky out. Set it up. And the backhand here to Golubov. Head man there to Atkinson. Pass cut off there by Ryan Smith. Good anticipation, but the Jackets will send it back up. And out. Belanger sweeps it behind the net. Bobrovsky out. And hands it back in. Head man there to Atkinson. For the win. Pass cut off there by Ryan Smith. Good anticipation, but the
That does it. The final score, Edmonton 1 and Columbus 0 in Game 4.
Jackets will send it.
No item in deep.
Bobrovsky.
Out back.
First start in my book. He starts off. Bobrovsky.
Victor. To be able to finish it up. Patience. That's the goaltender.
I'll take the victory.
And then the deciding goal. To be able to finish it up. Darkwood has to.
And that will extend the series to 3-1.
High up over top. Devin Dubnyk and the Jackets walk away.
And the victors 3 in a row.
Bobrovsky. First star in my book.
First,
he starts over
second,
21
and
shots
third star
in
in my
regulation and overtime.
Once
And 2 attempts in the shootout.
Devin Dubnyk with
And 2 attempts in the
first
shootout.
start.
And there was a number 1 goaltender to be determined at this point of the season. The Jackets
95 Hollywood
look
will
like
finish.
determined at this point of the season. The Jackets have Yakopov based on his performance here of late. And tonight's game, a particular 4-3 of late. And tonight's game, a particular 4-3 score.
1-0 Oilers.
Jackets for the first time this season.
Oilers
win back-to-back games.
season, extending the lead